So here's a tricky question. If you're not going to follow my videos, this will be a little bit tough for you. It says, writing the equation of a linear function given its graph. Write the equation to describe this function. Verify the equation. Well, there's no function there, so it would be a little bit tough to do that. So what I'm going to do very quickly right now is give you a function. I am going to put a point right here. I am also going to put a point right here and a point right here, and similarly here. And then I'm going to give you this line and tell you that there's your function. Okay? Write an equation of this function. So step one, let's go with this blue. Step one, find the slope. Now, at this point, there's a number of different ways you can find the slope. You could count the slope between 2 points, rise over run, 2 over 3, 2 over 3, 2 over 3. I could count the slope between these 2 points. I don't want to erase that. Don't erase that. I could count the slope between these 2 points. I could go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. I could count the slope between these 2 points here, still get the same slope. In this case, it would be 6 over 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 6 over 9, 6 over 9, which reduces to 2 over 3, same slope. Okay. I could calculate, or I could figure out what the coordinate points of this point are, the coordinate points of this point here, and I could calculate the slope using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Calculate the slope. Okay, so there's a number of different ways you could go about calculating slope. So whichever one is working best for you, the one you can understand the best and the fastest, whichever way, do that. Either way, I need to find my slope. If I'm going to count, I'm going to use good points. Good points are points that cross at nice intersections. Probably not a point right there, not a point right there. It'd be very difficult to figure out what those exact values would be. Okay, so I'm going to choose good points, use good points. You could just count, rise and run, making sure you know if it's positive or negative. You could use the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 between 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2, whichever works best for you. So in this case, either way I find the slope, it's going to be 2 over 3, and I know it's positive because it's going up from left to right. So there's my slope, m equals. Step 2, find the y-intercept. Where does this graph cross the y-axis? Crosses y-axis at what value? So let's look. This graph crosses the y-axis right here. That has a value of -1. Minus 1. So now I think, well, I know this equation, y equals mx plus b. That's the slope-intercept form of an equation. Do I know the slope? Sure, 2 over 3. Do I know the y-intercept? Yeah, -1. I just found it. Keep the x, keep the equals, keep the y. There is my equation for that relation. Now the second part of this question says to verify. Verify the equation. If I want to verify, I choose a point. I choose a point on the line and substitute. substitute into the equation. So I'm going to choose this point right here. This point has coordinates -3, -3. I'm going to take the equation that I found. Y is equal to 2 over 3x minus 1. I'm going to substitute in x and y. -3 is equal to 2 over 3 times -3 minus 1. Multiplying straight across the top, straight across the bottom, this gives me -6 over 3 minus 1. Well, -6 over 3 reduces to -2 minus 1, which is -3. Verified.